Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Beautiful Fayetteville, Arkansas, down to Razorback Stadium, where the Arkansas Razorbacks are hosting the Tennessee Volunteers, okay? Tennessee, coming off that bye, they are a 13.5-point favorite in this game, over-under set at 60.5. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's start with the Arkansas perspective. Listen, it's frustrating. I get it. Saturday after the A&M game, did have those Arkansas fans DMing me, sending me, screenshots of Sam Pittman's contract. Torres, you're in the media. Torres, can you call this out? It's nonsense. It's ridiculous. And I get the frustration. Arkansas could be 5-0. They're 3-2. You win the game against Auburn in a fashion that isn't pretty, but you find a way to win. And I'm not trying to discredit that win, but you kind of feel like you easily could be 5-0 going into this game. But I also understand the frustration for people that were tagging me, Torres, call out Pittman, Torres, you need to speak up. I get it, right? It's because you could be 5-0. You outplayed Oklahoma State. You didn't win. And then the A&M game, it was just frustrating. I mean, I'm not an Arkansas fan, and it was frustrating to watch. You jump out to that 14-7 lead. You have the fake punt. You have all the momentum. After the first quarter, you think this is going to be this weird high-scoring game. All of a sudden, you look up, you're going into the fourth quarter. You haven't scored since the end of the first. You end up putting up a field goal, 3 points in the final three quarters. That's not ideal. But then it's beyond not ideal. I think you get that part. But then, and this is the frustrating part, is that I think even the things that were working early don't seem like they're working, right? Is you have a situation at Arkansas where Taylor Green, listen, we were all on the hype train early, but as the weeks go on, it is clear that this coaching staff does not trust him. I want to welcome a new sponsor to the Aaron Torres pod, Blue Chew. Fellas, remember back in the day when you were always ready to go? Well, things change. You got a lot on your mind. Your football team isn't very good. Well, here's the good news. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. To get started, it's so easy. Just go to bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. No awkward trip to the doctors, no waiting at the pharmacy, no stink eyes, no raised eyebrows, nothing. Thing is, though, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, Torres, does it actually work? Do you think I need to try it? Well, here's the deal. Try it for a month for free, and I think there will be no turning back, all right? You'll love it. Your partner is going to love it. Your football team may stink, but you'll be rocking like the 85 Bears between the sheets. So go ahead, try it out, and here is the great news. We have a special offer for listeners of the Aaron Torres pod. You can try Blue Chew for free when you use the code Torres at checkout. All you got to do is pay $5 in shipping. Go to bluechew.com, use promo code Torres at checkout. You get Blue Chew for free for a free month, and you only have to pay $5 shipping. Again, visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. Thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring the Aaron Torres podcast. And certainly the trust is going down less and less. And by the way, I'm not even blaming the coaching staff. I get where they're coming from. I get what they, I get what, their perspective on it is, but Taylor Green right now is completing 54% of his passes, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's coming off a game, 23 of 41, 279 yards, 1 touchdown. Last 2 games, even in the Auburn win, had 2 interceptions, completed less than 50% of his passes against Auburn. And so he hasn't been playing well. The saving grace for Arkansas through the first 4 games was even when Taylor Green struggled, you were able to run the football. Now, part of it may have been Texas A&M. I don't want to undersell what they did, but this was the first week. Jaquinta Jackson, they couldn't get it going with him. 10 carries for 37 yards in this game. Arkansas, 100 yards rushing on 30 attempts. Yeah, that is not ideal. And it's certainly not ideal going up against Tennessee. Okay, so Tennessee, we all know, listen, I think one of the best stories in college football. And to me, what makes it such a good story, one, obviously team playing well, historic program that hasn't been this good, in my opinion, in a long time, a lot of season left, but they're not doing it in the way that I think the casual would have thought even a week or two ago, let alone a month ago before the season started. Because coming into the season, we kind of understood that Josh Heupel vibe, throw the ball all over, put up a bunch of points, try to survive. No, 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 no. This is a line of scrimmage ball control team. We actually talked about it last year. I thought they did a good job of running the football last year when they had Joe Milton at quarterback. Well, this year, this is a team that as they enter this Arkansas game, they're in the top 5 nationally in rush yardage. Yards per game, obviously, because they didn't play last week, so the numbers are a little bit down, whatever. But top 5 in rush offense. But then on top of it, like, it's worth noting, right? They are also the number 1 defense in all of college football this year, giving up just 176 yards per game. They are also the number 2 scoring defense, giving up a touchdown per game. And even those numbers are kind of skewed because if you watch the Oklahoma game, they were in control until they let their foot off the gas. Michael Hawkins gets a couple cheapies, and all of a sudden they have a couple more points than you would have expected. So this is a team that runs the ball, plays great defense. They have not put too much on Nico's throwing arm. And it's why I've said, by the way, I actually think there's another level for this Tennessee football team to get to, because when you actually look at who they are, what they've done, they really haven't let Nico loose. Now, to be clear, Tennessee fans, I don't need you yelling at me in the comment section on YouTube or in the comment section on the podcast, whatever. But at the same time, they haven't let Nico loose because they haven't had to. That is a credit to the defense. It's a credit to the run game. That's a credit to the O-line. It means that you can let this kid develop at his own pace. And I think there's going to be a point this year. Maybe it's Bama. Maybe it's an SEC championship type environment. Maybe it's a Georgia on the road where you do have to let him loose, but I just don't know that you have to. You go back to that Oklahoma game. Yeah, he hit the one big pass, but it was mostly run game. It was mostly defense. Tennessee got up big, and Josh Heupel said, I trust my defense to get us out of here without us having to throw the ball or, keep putting up points. We got the lead. Let's control the clock and let's get out with a victory. And so I bring it up because I'll be honest. Like, I know I just took the under in the first game. This one just feels like an under no-brainer to me. 60.5, I'll be transparent, feels like an absurd number to me, okay? Bottom line is, you look at this, I get that Tennessee is the number 1 scoring defense in all of college football, number one scoring offense in all of college football. I get that. But at the same time, like let's have a conversation about this. First off, one, we know Arkansas wants to run the ball. We just talked about Taylor Green. It's not a knock. It's just a reality. The less times he has to drop back to pass, the more likely you're going to have success. And to their credit, they have run the football well early in the season. Of course, last week notwithstanding. Beyond that, though, think about it from the Tennessee perspective. We just saw 2 weeks ago, Josh Heupel on the road basically say, I don't need to put too much on the plate of my redshirt freshman quarterback. Well, let's go to Saturday night. Night game, Razorback Stadium. By the way, you think that's an easy place to play because Arkansas is not having a great year? Go ask Steve Sarkisian. Remember when Texas played there a few years ago? Texas got run out of the freaking building. That place is big. That place is loud. I've never been to a game there, but I got a tour when I was in Fayetteville last year. That place is bigger than you think on TV, and it's not the kind of place that, no offense, Arkansas fans, but when the average college football fan is talking about the best venues in the league, they talk Neyland Stadium, they talk Tiger Stadium, maybe whatever. But Razorback Stadium gets loud and it is intimidating. I saw even Greg McElroy said earlier this week, he was at the Touchdown Club there, that, listen, you still got Tennessee, LSU, Texas, and Ole Miss at home. You're going to get at least one of them, if not more. And so I'm not ready to sit here and say that Arkansas is going to get this win, because I think the Tennessee defense is actually very, very good and still somehow underrated. But listen, I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be low scoring. I don't think Josh Heupel, by all accounts, is an egoless guy. I mean, when he goes to his alma mater and he just wants to get out with the win without embarrassing anybody or without whatever, he just cares about the W. And so you look at this game, I don't think he's going to put too much on Nico's plate. He's going to let Dylan Sampson run the ball. He's going to rely on the defense, and Arkansas is going to do the same. And to the credit of Arkansas, one, as I said, they're running the football well. Two, the defense has been fine. It hasn't been great. But listen, we're coming off of a game against Texas A&M, in which they gave up well under 300 yards of total offense. So again, to me, a no-brainer. It's hard for me to pick against Tennessee. I think they, I don't know that they're the best team in the country, but they're in that short conversation. But do think this is low scoring. That number of 60 feels crazy to me. I got to take the under. This one, 27-13, 28-14. I don't think we get anywhere close to 60.